Naked Shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical, and holistic. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
All right. I want to welcome everybody to the show today. This is Iggy Garcia Live, episode 149. Fix my bandana. Everything's backwards here. Everything's a little off. I want to welcome everybody today. Today I'm going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff. Going to get on topic here. I'm going to be talking about Mother Earth, and humanity and the Earth, and who will prevail. Who will prevail this battle of dominance of the planet? And messing around with my headband here, my top here. There we go. So, like we start every show, we give thanks to those who come before us. We're going to honor the ancestors, because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we do. Give thanks to the ancestors. Just kind of sit in silence here for a second. Just think about it for a minute. What it means to have ancestors. And all those people who worked really hard to, make a future for everybody. All the people who worked really hard to create something. When you think about your ancestors, they prayed for you. They really prayed for you. They really prayed that the next generation would get it right. They prayed for you to have better, have more, and to be successful, and to succeed, and to be bountiful, and to have plenty. And for many of us, I think we miss that somehow. We totally miss that. And we forget that. So this is for the ancestors, thanking them, thanking my mom, my dad, all the hard work they did in order for me and my siblings to be here, and to leave a legacy in our minds, in our heart, and our spirit, if that's all they left for us, So, yeah. Leave that hair burn in there. Little sage here as we do the show. Giving thanks and honoring, clearing and cleansing and moving the energy that we need to move. Clearing our thoughts, clearing our hearts. It's a full moon today. It was a full moon yesterday. We have 2 full moons today. For those of you who are not aware with the double moon in Aquarius. The full moon was here in the north parts of America, and then the full moon will be in the European parts of the world as we move through the cycles of the moon. For those of you who are curious how that works. So, cleansing and just moving the energy. Giving thanks. So, it's a hard topic sometimes to talk about people that we don't know about. People we've never met before. And those people being ancestors. Those people being people that we have no clue what they were like. But, one only has to look in the mirror. One only has to look a little bit into who they are and how they are. This is funny. This is killing me. One only needs to look in the mirror, and I'm looking in the camera, and it's the reverse. The mirror is backwards, so I can't fix my thing. So, laughing at myself. When we look, we have pieces and parts of many different people inside of us. And these people were just like you and me. These people were trying to do something that the last generation was trying to do, and the last generation, and every generation before them was trying to move forward into time, and creating a legacy, creating a foundation for those people to have something. Now, there are some that just lived and went on, and they didn't have kids, and in that lineage is pretty much gone. It's over. It's non-existence and acceptance, except in the records of the universe and the records of the land, the records of the trees, the plants, all things around it. That's the only thing that has records of that. But humanity has a record. Humanity has this thing where they strive to be the dominant creature on the planet. They want to be a number one. Not apex predator, they just want to be number one. Humanity wants to be able to control, manipulate, and house and harness energy. We want to manipulate people, manipulate all kinds of things. That's what we do. And what happens? That throws us out of balance. Throws us out of balance, which throws us out of harmony with the things around us. So most of us here, every day, we wake up and we do our thing. We get up, we go to the bathroom, we go through our little routines. And, nature does the same thing. The birds get up, the grass stretches, the dews on the grass, the dews on the trees, and everything's doing their thing in their own little world, their own little segment of the world, which is outside of our box, our little cave that we've created. But every day we do pretty much the same thing. We do those things. Then we either go to a job, or we flip on a computer and we go to that job, or we wait to go to a job later. We eat our breakfast, we eat our things, but but being in these little boxes, sometimes for a lot of us, we don't have that motivation to go outside and do things that we have to do because we're so busy being humans, human doings instead of human beings. And, we're doing versus just existing and being part of it and being involved in it and being engulfed in it and wrapped in it. And so I think what happens is we're out of touch. Humanity's out of touch. The vast majority of humanity is out of touch with nature. It really is a frightening thing. There's a lot of things happening around. We have pandemics. We have fungus attacking us. We have weather patterns that are screwed up. We have fires in Canada that are just starting because it's just so hot. These are the kind of things that are happening to us as a collective, as a culture, as a world, as a species. And it's affecting us. And it's affecting us gravely because we can't control it. We want to control it. We want to pump all the oil we can because we live thinking that we have unlimited resources. We think that we have unlimited resources and we can just live off that and just let it be. But I'm here to tell you, there is no unlimited resources. Once the oil's gone, the oil's gone. Once the waters are polluted, they're polluted. This is nothing new that I'm saying. These are prophecies of indigenous people who have spoken these words before myself. These are words that were spoken way before they even thought even cars would even exist, or the buildings that we have, the infrastructure we created. There's so many of us right now. There's billions of us on this planet trying to survive, trying to do, and trying to exist, and trying to become not forgotten. But that's the reality. It was we're here. We're here on this planet. We're here on this planet doing what humans do. We use, we waste. We're wasteful creatures. We recycle, yeah. We throw trash, yeah. But, that all goes someplace. And then, sometimes those things aren't distributed properly. So what is the solution? How do we move forward? How do we leave a beautiful future for our children, and for our grandchildren, or for someone else's children if you don't have children? What is the solution to that? What are we going to do? Because at the pace that we're going, they're going to have a planet. But it's not going to be the planet that we know. It's not going to have nearly the luxuries of nature that it has now with the trees and stuff. We are cutting down rainforests around the world, by unheard numbers, untold numbers. The numbers they throw at us are just probably fudged numbers, so we don't freak out and panic. I'm not as trustworthy as a lot of people are, but, when you take acres and acres and football field size of trees, it took those trees a long time to grow, thousands and thousands of years. These trees have been around forever, and we've destroyed them. You go down to South America, there's tons of just forests being annihilated and wiped out, all in the name of money, capitalism, source, toilet paper, wood. Wood is extremely expensive. A plank of wood, a plywood used to cost you what, $20? I think it was $15, $20, depending on what kind you use. But now it's like $50, $60 a sheet. If that doesn't scare you, that's crazy. Gas right now, we're pumping gas at almost $3.22, 12 cents sometimes. Why? Because we're hoarding it. We're saving it. Because we're pumping it from somewhere else and using it. Because we know we're not going to have it. Gas, I just don't understand. We have the infrastructure. We have the technology. We have the scientists. We have these people who are brainiacs and people who are really powerful with their minds and very astute to do things that some of us can't do. And yet they can't find a solution to the most common basic things that we have. Yeah, solar, yeah, wind. But I'm talking about if you want transportation, people have created a car that drives on water. Oh no, but we can't use a car that drives on water because you know what? That would hurt the industry. Oh, that would hurt the automobile industry. We'd put people out of business. People wouldn't be able to do this or do that. We're going to come to the point where we're going to have to. But see, the thing is, they don't know how to market it to you. They're trying to figure out a way to sell it back to you. The same with electric cars. They're figuring out ways to sell you back these electric to your cars. So when you use them, you pay for it. Granted, that's how it works, right? These are things that are free in nature. Electricity is free. It's just the harnessing capacity of it. Water is free. But it's the harnessing capacity of it that's being manipulated. Wind is free. But it's the capacity of harnessing that's using it. There are cities that won't even let you harness the wind. If you go to Florida, there's certain counties and municipalities that will not let you use little windmills to power and generate electricity for your home. Some places won't even let you use solar panels. What is wrong with this picture, people? What is going on? I'll tell you what's going on. Money, 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 money. Money. It's money. That's the system we live in. We live in a system that is about money. I don't know how true it is that Tesla wanted free energy for everybody. That could be true or not. I don't know. Maybe he's part of the deal. Maybe they cut him out. Maybe they got rid of him, made him think that he wasn't worth. But there are tons of Teslas out there. There are tons of brainy people out there who know and have these capacity. And they have these brains that just create things. So I'm challenging you guys. I challenge you guys to see the world and to look at the world in a way that is just very beautiful. But the world is turning into a very ugly place. Yeah, we can go to Colorado. We can go to these places and, escape for a moment. But I'm talking about every day. What's your part? What are you doing? What's Iggy doing? Well, I recycle, right? Like most of us. I put most of the things in the recycle bin. Now I get news that it doesn't matter if we put things in the recycle bin because we have so much recycling now, they don't have enough room to use it. We have so much plastic. My God, there's a whole island of plastic out in the Pacific. They even created a new ocean out in the Pacific above California, near Alaska, and that area. There's a new ocean. Is that new ocean there because nature has to evolve to the situations that happen? Listen, I'm just throwing these ideas out there. I have no proof that that's how it really is. But if you have these particulates and these particles that are out there, and it's changing the chemistry in the ocean, because when these waters, the viscosity, when it comes together, when they meet the certain oceans, they can't merge. So we're having all these little places where waters don't merge. The Dead Sea, you can float on that because there's so much, salt in there. So, it's interesting how nature adjusts. So these forest fires, these viruses, these fungus, these things that are coming out, what's happening? Well, Mother Earth is a living being. The day you realize that Mother Earth is alive, just like you and me, then maybe you will have more, cognitive, understanding of what's happening. Oh, it's terrible. It's burning down there. It's horrible. Oh my God, the forest fires. It's not affecting me. I live here. Nothing's happening. I'm good. Not my way. There's nothing burning here. We're good. Yeah, but the pollution, the smoke, and all that stuff goes into the air. You go to China, my God, they have cities that turn black when they produce and when they start creating manufacturing. Certain times of the day, the kids have to wear little white coats to go to school, wear masks to go to school because you can't breathe the air. Well, you got to breathe the air, but you have to wear a mask. That should not be. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't be allowed. That's the most horrible thing that you could even imagine. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get why we think that's okay. I'm not blaming the Chinese. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just blaming industry. Because industry manipulates and controls all the things that happen on this planet. Money talks, bullshit walks, right? That's what they say. All right? So you want your toy, your Nintendo so bad, your iPhone so bad. And I have an iPhone. I have one right here, just like everybody else. I click it on. I'm here. I'm doing a show on Facebook. Just simple stuff. And a click away, message goes. A lot goes into that. A lot goes into that little process right there, creating that little phone. Just that little phone right there. Just think about all of it. Now you have this Bitcoin stuff. And they call this processing mining, where they have to use a lot of electricity in order to mine these Bitcoins or these fictitious coins that don't even really exist. They exist on a computer. There's really nothing that backs it except for the mining process of that. They have rows and rows and rows of buildings in order to house these mining fields. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that scene out of the Matrix. When Neo discovers he's inside those pods, and then he looks around and there's like tons of pods. There's not like just one pod, there's like tons of pods. And he's looking around and he's going, wow. He doesn't even know what he's looking at. He has no clue because he became unattached from the cord because he had a hiccup in the system and the system failed to keep him locked into, the dream state, the reality of the state. And that's what happens to us. We get locked into the dream state, the reality state, the thing in our lives, that makes us see the world a certain way. Don't think that you don't see the world a certain way. The world is presented to you in a certain way for you to be able to digest it. Are we in tubes somewhere? I don't know. I have no proof of that. I'm not saying that we do or we don't. But when man finally destroys this planet, the only thing that's going to be here is going to be the animals, hopefully, and maybe the creation of technology of artificial intelligence. Will artificial intelligence take us over? I don't know. Sometimes it looks like it will. And sometimes man's imagination through movies creates these scenarios and these things that are happening. But I find it very fascinating. I find it very interesting to see how humans, can be so destructive. And we are destructive. And like my friend Kate would tell me, she goes, we're the virus. And I believe that. Sometimes we are the virus. The pattern that we follow, the way that we move, the way that we navigate through life is consumption, use, discard, get rid of. Multiply and get bigger, get stronger, take it over. But here's the interesting part. Even if we took every corner of the earth, Mother Earth would still battle us and still fight us. And I really believe that she does that. She battles us and fights us. She'll flood a region because she has to flood it out. Sometimes you got to blow your nose, You got to push that water through. So this flooding that you see in places that haven't had flooding ever, or maybe in a long time, and they're well equipped for this flooding, I'll tell you so. Especially like in Germany and these areas where they're having a lot of flooding. They have these walls and these retaining things, and Mother Earth just goes boom, takes it out, boom, just wipes it out like nothing, like it was a toy. We watch the videos on TV, and everything looks like it's in slow motion, like it's just. But the sheer power of the water is daunting. It's you can't even fathom it, how powerful it is. But yeah, we got a problem, man. I don't know. I don't know when we're going to wake up. I know there was a big push in the 70s as kids when I was a little kid. You know, they had Hoot the Owl and, you know, Smokey the Bear and Don't Pollute. Listen, when I was a kid, I was taught if you throw one little piece of paper out the window, you're going to go to jail. You know, you didn't really go to jail, but you got fined. I was afraid to throw anything out the window, you know, because I didn't want to be part of the problem. And we kind of got away from that thing because maybe the messages doesn't relate to how people are today, how kids are today, how young adults are today. You know, I don't know. So how do we tell the world we have any issues, we have problems? Even though the world knows we have problems, the world knows that we have these serious issues, yet the world continues doing the same exact thing over and over and over, to the point where it's just like, I guess we feel like we can't do anything, then we just continue living. Maybe we're just so numb. We become so numb, we become so disconnected. We're on our phones, our TV, I'm on this podcast, you know. But there are people out there, there are warriors out there, there are peacekeepers out there who are picking up trash right now, doing their little pieces and parts in order to help, you know. Regardless if it doesn't seem like it helps that little spot, that little area right there. Because logistically, it probably doesn't, it's probably like dropping, you know, a drop in the ocean. But regardless, that little drop in the ocean knows what happened, you know? And I want to believe that makes a difference. Because we're all little drops in the ocean, right? And if we hit the water, maybe we can create enough momentum, because as that wave moves out, that circular wave moves out and keeps going, it eventually fades out because you want the other dots to take over. And I hope we do. But I don't want to be doomsday guy. But I don't feel very good right now about how things are going on this planet. You know, we hyper-focus on certain things, and we get upset at certain things when people don't do certain things. You know, we have a virus we were dealing with, and I get that. But we don't really ask why we have a virus, you know. We don't really ask those serious questions. We just tell everybody to get jabbed and move on. And that's where the problem is. Just because we think that we've have a solution to a problem that we just move forward. No, it's deeper than that. The earth is hurt. There's trauma on the earth. There's stuff here that we've done to her. Will she shake us off like a flea? Of course she can. And we'll pay the ultimate price for that. But how do we move into this space now? How do we move forward? You know, my friend Kate, she's here online, she's watching. She sent me some articles about fungus and stuff, and then monkeypox and stuff. It's just getting to a place where that's being out of balance. That's not being in harmony with your surrounding, your environment. That means that your environment is trying to overtake you, because now you become the enemy. You become the issue, you know, because you're taking over. You're destroying. You're killing. So, my friends, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if I have the solutions for this. I just have ideas. And these ideas may work, may not work. But regardless if they work or don't work, we have a lot of stuff we need to take care of. Our little spaces, our homes, probably is a good place to start. But other than that, I'm not too sure what the future looks like for us. You know, our waters are severely polluted. We just don't notice it because we've used filtration systems, and that water, when it comes back to us, it's dead. It's not alive. When you have to put minerals in the water, when you have to actively add things to the water for it to be good, that means that water it has no life in it. You know, when I water my plants, yeah, they're grateful. It helps them. But I'd say, when it rains, like when it saturates my plants go crazy grow. Why? Because it's unfiltered, it's untapped. You know, it's something that's coming from the clouds. It's being ionized in the air. It's a natural process. And that's why we capture water. Sometimes we have these water barrels. We capture the water because that water's good. Maybe not for us to drink and consume as human beings like we once used to. But there's still pollutants up there. So I don't want to lead you astray. There's still things up there that we can't move out of there. You know, I posted a couple weeks ago how clouds can hold that much water. I mean, you're talking about millions and millions of gallons of water. You know, it's condensed or whatever, or in a certain type of form, but when it hits a certain altitude or a certain thing happens, it releases it and it becomes the water or the snow. These are miracles. These are amazing. When you think about that, that's pretty damn cool. You know, that's just you can't replicate that. But you know, there are places where we control the weather. They say we don't control the weather. We do control the weather. Got another article from my friend Casey sent me. You know, out in these deserts, they're creating artificial environments because those places used to be lush. Those places used to be, beautiful places. They used to have, trees. They used to have foliage. And then, one day, just because of use and despair and maybe the poles flipped, who knows the actual truth, nothing's there. Everything's barren. Could that throw the planet off a little bit if we start creating these artificial environments and creating these places where nature didn't want it to be there because it needs a bounce, because it needs a flow? Is the whole planet supposed to be green? No, because the whole planet on the ends are cold, right? There's a rhythm. There's an idea for the planet to do what it needs to do. She has to create certain things in order for her to work. But we interfere. We interfere because we think we're doing the right thing. And we create things. People talk about, comtrails or chemtrails, whatever you want to call them. All those things in the air, they affect the weather. They affect the planet. I'm not saying they're spraying it, but just the sheer fact flying, everything, cars driving affect our environment, The cows and these slaughterhouses pooping and the stuff being dumped into the water, that affects the oceans, affects the water, affects the rivers. Everything is just crazy. It's crazy. It just blows my mind. We hear all these things, and do they really happen? We frack the land. We pull, more stuff out of the rock, and then we backfill it with water, in order to it's just, I don't know, man. I'm getting a little pissed off here about it because it's like, we know this. We know the answer. We know what it means. And it's just frustrating. It's just crazy. I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. Because it's not going to be 20 years from now. 30 years. It could be next week, 5 years from now. It's going to be much sooner than later, I believe, in my opinion. That we're going to feel the crux of all this mess that we're in. But I don't know. I don't know, friends. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. All I know is we have to be the prayer versus praying. We have to be the answer to other people's prayers. We have to be the prayer. We have to be anymore. We pray and pray and pray and wait for somebody to have the solution or fix our problem, or hope that God intervenes, or an angel comes and waxes, puts his little miracle feather on there. You be the prayer. You be the reason why the earth is alive. Why not? Why not? Me be the prayer. It's just like when peace begins with me. If I want peace, then I got to start with promoting peace. I have to show what peace looks like. And, that's not easy for everybody. But we have to be the prayer. We have to be. We can no longer be praying. We can't be waiting. When you want to manifest something, you really manifest it. When you don't want to manifest it, you kind of flounder around about it because you don't think you're deserving of it. It's not that you're not going to get it. It's not that it doesn't work. It's not you're not willing to put in the work in. That's what happens to a lot of people when they want things. But you want a better earth. Iggy, you want a better earth? Then you have to be the prayer. such and such. You want a better earth, then you gotta be the prayer. You have to be the instrument that changes that. Are we willing to do that? Do we want to do that? I don't know. We will see. You know, there are a lot of people like myself who share these stories, and people just go, whack job, you know, tree hugger, hippie, you know. It's true. And that's okay. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I don't really care. Because I'm going to be the prayer. I'm going to be the prayer that I ask for. Versus, you know, waiting for someone to save my ass. And just the little step by steps is how we get where we want to be. You know? I know that a lot of you are fed up. A lot of you are upset. Can't get where you want to be. But right now, the biggest threat is us to this planet and not taking care of her. You know, if they can lie to you about global warming and they can lie to you about anything, they can lie to you about anything. They can tell you and feed you stories till you're blue in the face. So be careful when you read things. Be careful when you ingest information. Because one side says one thing and the other side says one thing. Oh, no, there's no global warming. Oh, that's just, oh, no. Come on, really? The earth cycles and cleans and has its own natural filtering system. Sure it does, but it gets compromised. And it also gets overrun. You know, it's like having a fish tank if you have a filter in it. If you don't clean the filter, it will still pump the water, but at a very slow pace. And eventually the water doesn't do anything, doesn't get any better because the filtering system is damaged. It's not working. It's dirty. It's just like going through the same crap over and over, going through its own crap. Well, the earth is kind of doing the same thing. It's trying to move all these pollutants, move all this stuff out of the way, and it's having a hard time. Having a difficult time. Moving that energy, moving that crud, moving that stuff. It's like you eating fast food all the time and expect to be super healthy, and you're not going to be super healthy. It's been proven, right? That if you don't eat right, then your body suffers. And then if your body suffers, then your spirituality suffers. Your mind suffers. And then you go into these deep places, these dark places. Or you're good here, but you're not good in your body because you're disconnected from certain things. It's just how it is. But anyways, I think you get the point what I'm trying to say. You know? Create a cleaning club, you know, create something where you do, or just do it. Just don't say anything. You don't have to even tell anybody you're doing it. Just do it. You know? If you're going to give money, just be careful where you're putting your money, where you're sending your dollars. Because the people who usually work in these organizations don't usually work for free. Very rare. Somebody's getting paid to represent that industry. So if you're going to donate your money, just make sure you do your research on that as well. You know, one can at a time, one piece of paper at a time. Just do it. If you're in the park, you know, that's when I'm going to start. I'm going to take a little bag with me, and when I see trash, ooh, but I'm not going to touch that. Someone else touch that. You know, come on. People are like that. I see people. You know, but I'm going to take a bag with me now. I'm going to start taking a bag. When I see the trash, you know, if I have to get a napkin or a nap, whatever, a glove, whatever, pick it up so I don't feel weird about it. But I'm going to pick it up. There's just too much, and I'm just as guilty as the next person. Sometimes I walk past a can or walk past a wrapper, you know, and I don't pick it up. And that's on me because I had an opportunity to make a change in that moment. Because when the next time the waters flood and the next time the water comes in there and moves that stuff around, that goes downstream and affects something or someone or a fish or the habitat. So I'm responsible if I see it. Just because somebody else put it there doesn't mean that I just go, oh, God, I can't believe people just act like that. You know, and I've been that guy. God, jackass. I've seen people throwing things out of the car, and I've gotten out of the car and thrown things back in the car, and boy, it was almost a fist fight. But you know what? I got my point across. Because sometimes you have to do that. And when people dump their ashtrays out in the street, that drives me nuts. Drives me completely nuts. Or when they throw their cans out the window, you know. I don't know where they think this stuff's going to go. I don't know where they think this stuff just is going to magically disappear. Magically disappear out of their car, yeah. You know, you wake up and you do these drum circles and you do all these beautiful things that, you know, you're involved in. And then you just hope that the message that you're sharing gets out there. Tonight I'm going to be drumming in Delaware, Ohio, and I'm going to be at the place is called Andrew's House. So it's not some random guy's house called Andrew. It's a center. It's called Andrew's House. Just look it up online, Delaware, Ohio. At 7 p.m. I'll be drumming there. I'll be sharing my magic, my gifts from Spirit, from God, drumming. If you can make it, come on out. Start at 7 p.m. It's inside, so we'll be drumming. This will be the second part of the full moon. This will be the second part full moon. And for those of you who need a salt room adventure and want to get into the salt room, SerenitySaltSpa.com. Check that out, or call 614-686-7258. That's Serenity Salt Spa. That's at 5951 South Sunbury Road in Westerville, Ohio. You can book your appointment on there. And if you need a little discount, first-time people, just type in the word Iggy, I-G-G-Y, and in the code section, and you'll get a discount. And your first session will be $20. Can't beat that. $20 for a salt room for 45 minutes. That's a deal. That's a steal. I like that. So I want to thank everybody for coming and tuning in. I just felt like I had to share today. I've been a little quiet because I've just been in my own personal prayer, figuring out how I'm going to be the prayer to the world and working through my personal stuff. And sometimes we have to take a little break from that and figure that out. And now I've been booking more drummings. I've been doing more things. So I'm pretty excited. So check my stuff out here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Spotify, on Apple TV, or iTunes, excuse me. I'm all over it. Wherever podcasts are free, I'm there. So Anchor or whatever, just tune in, type in the word Iggy Garcia, and you'll find me. I'm Iggy Garcia with Iggy Garcia Live. I want to say ho'oponopono mataku yasin. It's good to be here. Irisikwi. And I hope to see you tonight at the drum circle. I hope you come and enjoy. And with that, let's go out and make the world a better place, because only we can make it better. You know, like I said, it's good to be here. Be the prayer. Be that person. If you want change in the world, be the prayer. All right, guys. Take care, and I will see you soon. And this will post on IggyGarcia.com in the next couple hours, and I will see you soon. Peace out.